normally tends to end up getting the same type of guy because she was tailor made to fit that guy. So when you start racking up bodies, you got to start checking, as I say, check the carfax. Is the same type of buyer steady coming to you? If he the same type of buyer is steady coming to you, then you got to know that all these bodies you racking up technically really is one body per se. It's multiple bodies, and so it would be multiple bodies in the same form of the same first guy. What's going on? It's WillMyCraven. Here you another day with another video. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Leave a comment. All that would be gladly appreciated. And let's dive right into this. So, I want to talk on the topic, does body count matter? Well, we hear this a lot in today's society that, well, on the male side, women don't like the fact that guys can rack up bodies and it doesn't affect them, and they want equal treatment. So yeah, there's this uproar with women in regards to body count mattering. Well, before I even go too much further, this is one of the start of the videos. Well, whether it's a start or not, it's just one of the videos where I want to deal more so with talking to the women as opposed to talk to the men. My channel is mainly has been geared towards men, and as far as getting us to be truly masculine, as far as being really good teachers. But I want to start dealing with some things that women need to actually hear. Uh, so for the women, yes, your body count does matter. So what is body count? Well, body count is how many sexual partners that you have accumulated. And that is a big deal for us as men, because regardless of how you all want to think that tradition only applies to us and we should be traditional, what the sad part is that you can't want us to be traditional and then we still don't think traditional. So you can't want us to do traditional things for you all and still not think traditional. You can't separate that. So traditionally, from the beginning of time, males simply have moved in regards to a woman having a low body count, and preferably from times of old, virgin is always best. So a lot of males are now adapting to women having higher body count, but a lot of you women need to understand that those males who are adapting to that philosophy, a lot of them are from unmarried mothers who raised them, also males who they're just trying to tap. They're just trying to have a sexual experience, and they don't care if you have that body count. They're gonna agree with you. You gotta understand. A lot of you women think that all males are dogs. But for some reason, y'all missed the point where in this thing where they would agree with you to be a dog to get you. It's easy to agree and say, yeah, you know what? Go ahead. Have your body count. And if you accept that, then it's like, all right, cool. Now that she accepted, I may have my chance. How do you not understand this? There's all we tell you all the time that there's a guy waiting in the wings for the opportunity to get with you. Especially when you have a man, if you have you're with a guy already, they're waiting in the wings to have that opportunity to get with you. I just saw somewhere online where a woman succumbed herself to her boss as she was married. She fooled around with the boss and then ends up divorcing the first husband, gets married to the boss, and then ends up getting divorced and goes back to the husband. Evidently, she must have realized that it was better with the first husband, even though the boss more likely had more money, more power, and all that. And she went back. But in there, the boss started schooling her on sexual things to get with her. Dudes are waiting for the opportunity. So a lot of you all need to understand that if a dude's telling you your body count don't matter, because it doesn't, because he just simply wants to smash. That's all he wants to do. If you give him that opportunity, we see the mess all the time. We hear the mess all the time about dudes getting left on red, dudes steady being in a female's inbox, waiting for the opportunity. And then when you give them an opportunity, it'd be females who turn around and say, oh, he was this and he was that. What if be those same dudes' response who really don't care, just only wanted to do was have that sexual experience? They say, I don't care, I still hit. Because that's the whole objective. It's like you all miss that point. And you're being told that your body count doesn't matter because the guys want to rack up your body count. They want the experience. They don't care nothing about you. And if they're, in the end, we before I even say in the end, there's plenty of musical songs out there that in this day and age that are telling people that you all have no loyalty. And well, why should I trust you when you messing around on your man's and I'm just trying to smash? It's not helping y'all. It's not helping y'all any. It's not helping y'all at all in any case. Which is why there's a point I have here. Should your body count matter? Yes, it should matter to you. It should matter to you because if it's high, you're not gonna get that same treatment because we think traditionally, we move traditionally. And even if we're not moving traditionally, it's in our makeup to be possessive of the one. There's all the time we're seeing that happens. There's some guy out here who's believing and thinking that if he can't have you, no one else can. Possession. I mean, it's in the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. We're wired this way. And if you do, there's going to be some kind of consequence and repercussion, especially if the guy is really hot wired to be that possessive. So your body count, women, it should matter. It should matter because it's going to change how we move. Regardless of the fact of how you think and how free you want to be and how happy and go lucky and hot girl summer and city girls up, all that stuff, man, is not for you all's benefit long term. It's just for the moment. You a booty call. You a bust down. You however it is want to be touted. It's not gonna work in your favor long term. It may seem good short term because the short term goal is for that male to get the cheeks. That's what his short term goal is. That's all he's caring about. But as far as guys who know better, as opposed to these guys who are agreeing with you, because the guys who are agreeing with you that are saying your body count doesn't matter, long term is not going to be technically suitable for you with them. You're going to get bored. You're going to get bored. Like most of you do. You get bored and then it's like, okay, I'm tired of this. But it should matter. So Why doesn't it matter for men? Why doesn't our body count matter? Because throughout the beginning of time, we've had the ability to have multiple wives. And that's just how it's been. Now, current society wants to change that narrative because if you study history, having multiple wives created wealth. One of the richest men of all society and throughout the course of history, which is Solomon, had a ton of wives. David in the Bible had a ton of wives. My man's, oh, was it? It's not. I can't think of what his name is. Starts with an A. In Persia, he had a ton of wives. Like it was just customary. If you had a lot of wives, you gain wealth. And multiple wives built wealth. So for us, um, it's changed now to fit the narrative of how women want it to be to feel better about themselves. And I know you all are not gonna like this, but the whole the whole cheating thing is all centered around women, man. And for a male and having multiple wives, well, let's just cut to the chase. Y'all don't want to believe it, but this is how it goes. Anytime throughout the course of history in the old days, you had sex, it was marriage. It's why we still adopt the old saying that you consummate the marriage sexually. It's the finalization, it's the sealing. It's what makes it happen. It's what makes marriage happen. So anytime a man technically goes with another woman and he sleeps with her, he's technically marrying that woman. That's why the whole virginity thing it was so important. And if you took a woman's virginity, you either had to pay for it or you was done away with. One of the two things happened. And then if you did pay for it, you had to turn around and keep her as your wife. So if you start really looking back, going back where the grandpas and great grandpas of old had a whole nother family on the side, that was basically his other wife. That was his second wife. He took care of that family. So which is a whole big difference when it comes to a man being with an additional woman. I want to say another woman because when you say another woman, it's like, oh, that's cheating. But when he's dealing with that additional woman, he was legit taking care of the additional woman. He was taking care of that woman and his main first woman. So as far as racking up the whole body count of men, it's not that. When you're doing it that way, that's not the issue. But when you turn around and all right, now I'm sneaking, creeping, tipping, smashing every which woman in which way, yeah, that's a whole huge problem. Racking up, racking up bodies that way is a whole huge problem. Now I know, like I said, y'all ain't gonna agree with that, but I don't really care if you don't agree with it, because that's the way it is and that's the way it was. And now y'all want to change the whole narrative on the matter. It's a whole different ball game. But there's a difference between a dude going with an additional woman and creating a whole family with that woman, still taking care of that woman and taking care of you, as opposed to a man going out here, he's sleeping with that one, he's sleeping with that one, and he's sleeping with this one, and he's sleeping with that one. Technically, based biblically, that guy is actually fornicating, and because he's refusing to actually marry that woman, which would mean he's not building any type of relationship with that woman. He's just sleeping with her, and that's all he's doing, as opposed to actually making sure she's taken care of and everything else. She's under his care. He ain't doing none of that. He's just over there trying to smash. But yeah, if he's racking up bodies in that regard, yeah, that ain't too much cool either, because now you defiling a woman based off of biblical context. You defile that woman, and now she's gonna have emotional trauma and problems, and she's gonna feel some type of pain, whether she does or not. And if she gets over it, then her whole character and persona is gonna start slowly, eventually changing. So yeah, that's an issue. Uh, why was it important for that woman to be a virgin? Well, we look at virginity in a woman as purity. And from a man who still understands this concept, um, I did a video on this already in regards to virgin. It's just a whole different vibe. It's a whole different level of submissive. The submissive, you don't have to do as much to gain her being submissive. Because she's been taught a certain thing, and then you line up, it falls into play. As opposed to a woman who's already experienced somebody, she's now has something to judge off of. But we love to say, "Oh well, we're not the same." So if you're judging off of someone who's not the same as the other person or going in the same direction, there's going to be some type of fight and blowback. Which takes me to a video I said I need to do in regards to garments. I made a post about that. So I ain't gonna give too much of it out. But anytime you are in a relationship, it's like garments. It's like accessories, clothes, and all that stuff. This here is not something that's tailor made, but if it was, it would fit me flawlessly, and it would be different as opposed to just buying this off the rack. So that's pretty much how it is with virgin. So once someone already has it, it was made to fit them. And then that's pretty much what the whole thing, as far as when a woman gets with a man, she's getting with that guy who she's now being tailor made for, to help, to assist, to expand everything that it is with that he's doing. So it's harder for no, well, I won't say it's harder. That woman generally tends to end up getting the same type of guy because she was tailor made to fit that guy. So when you start racking up bodies, you got to start checking, as they say, check the carfax. Is the same type of buyer steady coming to you? If he the same type of buyer is steady coming to you, then you got to know that all these bodies you racking up technically really is one body per se. It's multiple bodies, so it would be multiple bodies in the same form of the same first guy, unless the first, whichever how many guys was a certain way, and then you decided to just go way left. But yeah, man, you all racking up bodies is not a good thing, especially from a man's standpoint. A man who knows better. Say, oh, you just insecure. Nope, it has nothing to do with insecurity. It has everything to do with my time. I'm not going to waste my time on you when you have multiple bodies. That means I have to fish through a lot of other males who have put their imprint on you. Their DNA is on you. And I talk about this too. Anytime you get DNA from a male, or anytime you have DNA, period, it's looking to infuse in your body, and your body fights it because it has to take on characteristics. So in taking on characteristics, you then take on characteristics of that other person. So now that you're taking on characteristics of that other person, there could be a clash going on. So if you've been implanted with multiple guys and you didn't even learn fully the first or the second, or let alone if it was more than 2 or 3, there are now multiple guys within your whole makeup. So you have no idea when you hear certain things from another guy why you're actually fighting against it. And that is one of the biggest things that a lot of women don't even understand. They're fighting. When they're fighting, it's the other male that's risen up within them that's fighting what it is that that man is saying. Because per se, women generally don't buck against males. When they have not been tainted, they don't buck against males. Males buck against each other. So the minute you start trying to buck up against the guy you're with, that's just the other male that you've been messing around with, bucking up against him. And if you did buck up against the male in the beginning, early stages, chances are it was what your father taught you, not what you think it is. But it's more or less because we buck anything we've been taught. But in there, another man is going to come out in you. Once he's imprinted his DNA on you, he's gonna come out. So for me, it's practically a waste of my time. It has nothing to do with insecurity. Why? I'm 40-something years old. I don't have time to be wasting fighting some other ideals that you don't even really understand that you're acting upon because you're acting out from what someone else has been imprinting on you. That's why when we see our children do certain things, you're like, I know I don't do that, and then you realize, oh, found out that's what your mama do. Or, oh, she turns around and say, I ain't do that, and then she finds out, oh, your daddy did that. Oh, great, DNA, it's coming out. Whatever's in the child's DNA is coming out. So anytime a guy asks to you and you steady racking up all these bodies and you got this one and then ripped off in you, and even if you had an abortion, he became one with you. Part of his character is in you. That body count, that makes that whole body count even more like, oh, wow. I never thought that I would do that. You wonder why you doing certain things. You don't even realize why you doing certain things. That other man dumped in you, and that's what he used to do. Or that's something what his family used to do. It's gonna come out, man. And as a man, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with all that extra drama, knowing that you got a whole bunch of trauma going on because you got multiple personalities because you've been mixed with multiple guys with personalities. But with that being said, I don't want to go too much further. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. Without further ado, it's your boy, WillMyCraven.